Hello everybody, I am Stephen Parry-Jones and I'm the coordinator for Seren Hub in Merthyr Tydfil and Rhondda Cynon Taf. And firstly, can I say congratulations on superb GCSE results, gained in the most difficult of circumstances. And I'd like to congratulate also your carers and parents, either because of the fantastic genetic endowment they've bequeathed to you or the brilliant environment in which you've grown up. Also, a word of congratulations to the teachers. In the most difficult year of our professional lives, they have really brought in fantastic results. I'm not going to bombard you with information tonight. Everything you know will be emailed out to you. But what I would like to do is introduce you to a few Seren alumni, people who were in your shoes only a matter of years ago, and let them give you a flavour of what we do here in our hub. One of the first of our students to gain a first was Hannah Mealy, who was a pupil at Apant Comprehensive. Hannah read history at Birmingham University and graduated last year. Hannah, as one of our very first Seren students, what do you remember about the Seren experience?
Hi, I'm Hannah. As Stephen said, I studied history at the University of Birmingham. I finished last year, but I finally graduated in September just gone thanks to COVID. I was in Seren the first year it started, so I was in the first cohort, and from the get-go it was really, really helpful. I was the first in my family to go to university, so Seren was so helpful in helping me choose what course I wanted to study, where I wanted to study, and looking at how to apply to. I really enjoyed the extension classes in Seren. I loved learning more about English Lit, even though I decided to study history in the end. But Seren was a massive part of that decision. I don't think I would have made that decision if it wasn't for Seren, and that decision was right for me. So that was really, really valuable to me. I really appreciated all the interview support that Stephen arranged for me. He arranged one-on-one interview preparation for me, which was so valuable to me. And at the end of the day, Seren really, really helped me to realise that I didn't mind where I studied as long as I was really, really interested in my course. So I think that was the biggest piece of advice I took from Seren, and it was so valuable. I made friends, and I'm still in contact with Stephen and Jonathan today, who continue to support me and offer me advice. After I graduated, they supported me as I considered a master's or going into education. Thanks to that continued support, I got a job as an additional learning needs support assistant in a school for a year, where I worked with young people with different learning needs such as ADHD, dyslexia, muscular dystrophy, and lots of other complex needs as well. I'm now working as a project support assistant for South Wales Police, where we're trying to improve how we deal with vulnerability and wellbeing need across South Wales. For me, Seren has ended up being there long after I've graduated, and I really miss it. I'm still deciding what I want to do, but I know that I can count on Stephen and other Seren alumni to support me along the way.
Thanks, Hannah, and it's great to have you back in Wales with us. A key part of what we do in our hub is the extension classes, twilight activities in which academics, doctors, lawyers, and people with other sorts of expertise put you through your paces. The idea is to take you beyond the narrow confines of A-level. So if you're doing A-level physics, we want you to start thinking like a scientist. If you're doing A-level history, we want you to think like an historian. And we hope you'll find these sessions interesting and also challenging. I'm now going to introduce you to Maxim Rees. Max was a pupil at Treorchy Comprehensive, and he's now studying medicine in one of the London powerhouses, UCL, University College London. Max, can you tell us how those extension classes impacted upon your applications?
I think the best way of explaining the impact these sessions had on me is by talking about my first couple of experiences. So I distinctly remember my first session. There was a group of about 30 of us sat around a table at Coleg y Cymoedd, all intending to apply to medicine, all with a little bit of work experience behind us, and all with the fuel to drive our applications, but none of us had the skills to even attempt the application process yet. The tutor handed us a playing card in which he held the matching set in another deck of cards. So he'd pick up a card and he'd ask us each a question. My card was read, I stood up, my palms grew sweaty, my voice dried up, and he said, "Tell me what you know about euthanasia." So in the moment, it's not about what you know. I learned how to process my trails of thought and how to formulate an adequate response that wasn't tangential and just managed to summarise my knowledge in about 30 seconds to a minute. Over the course of the year, we looked at different parts of the application process. So once we learned how to read news articles, and this really helped with learning relevant medical news for interviews. And then we did some super curricular activities as well, where A-level anatomy was taught at a first-year undergraduate level, and this helped me to understand the step up in teaching difficulty, and then allowed me to change my revision approach to a way that better suited university life. The medical stream at Seren really excels, and you'll understand the breadth of opportunities available to you throughout Year 12 and Year 13 a little later on. But the best part, and this goes for all of you, irrespective of what you want to study or read at university, is that for most of you this will be the first time you sat in a room full of like-minded individuals, albeit for now a virtual room. These are people you'll form connections with, friendships with, and these are people that might form part of your professional networks when you're older. So, for now, you'll only get out as much as you put in, so please stick to it. And it might be you in the future whose task, just like Stephen Parry Jones, is to inspire and mentor the next generation of Wales's brightest students.
Thank you so much, Max, and I hope next time we meet you'll be a fully fledged member of the medical profession. Another thing we aim to do in Seren is to put you in touch with a range of universities, not just those in the UK, but also in America, which we do through our links with Fulbright. There may be some trips to Oxford, Cambridge, places like that. There will be days for intending vets, medics, and so on. We also try and put you in touch with organisations like Ledlet, which is there for those who want to be barristers and solicitors, or with the Nuffield organisation, which organises summer placements where you can work alongside PhD students in Welsh universities on genuine research projects. I'd now like to introduce Lucas Watts. Lucas was a pupil at Gartholwg, and this year he gained a first in philosophy, politics and economics at Oxford. He's now about to start a master's in social anthropology at Cambridge. Lucas, can you tell us what Seren did for you?
So Seren just offered me kind of loads, actually just a ridiculous amount. There was just so much stuff going on then. I think there's even more stuff going on now than when I was doing my levels as well. So I just actually can't cover it all, but I can give you like a highlights package. Best thing, maybe, I think, was the summer school at Jesus College, Oxford. So good. Week-long, kind of residential summer school, staying in the city, going to these super interesting lectures, all on like the future of humanity. Got to write an essay as well and just like discuss that and my ideas with like a tutor at Oxford, which just felt ridiculous at the time. And yeah, I got a really nice school fun at the city, uni life, and kind of not just academically, but like socially as well. It was really, really fun. And met some like brilliant people who I'm still friends with now, lots of them, which is super useful for my application as well. And I got so much help through that, like in eventually then applying to uni. I also went on that Ledlet scheme Stephen had just mentioned. Again, that was kind of just actually surreal experience. I had this like day at the Old Bailey with a judge there, got like work experience with these kind of like big London barristers and solicitors, and just got to make just, I don't know, all these useful contacts who were all super, super useful in like giving me advice about what to do next, what to do in my life. And yeah, staying in Gray's Inn as well, which was just bizarre, like this just big grand building, having dinner with all these fancy people. It was super fun. I also just really enjoyed the extension classes that Seren offers. You know, I was just one of those people who didn't really have a clue what I wanted to do, and just like bouncing around those classes helped me kind of navigate my way through my choices about what to do in my life. And they were super interesting as well. Like, I can't say I loved every single one of them, but at least then I knew I didn't want to do that subject. And loads of them I got to discuss like kind of things I was interested in, things I really wanted to learn about that weren't covered in school. Yeah, and they were just quite fun. And there's so much that kind of thing going on where you just like, there were some really good careers events down there as well. Again, just like ridiculous things on your doorstep where you can kind of go down, and Stephen had organised like 15, 20 people, all sorts of background, all sorts of sectors. And we just got to like sit down, have a chat. And they gave me so much useful advice. But I had like a really big effect on what I did. Also the conference is great. Absolutely recommend the conference. That is like the moment, I think, where the like extent of things available to do in the world kind of really opened out in a really nice way with everything that was on offer there. Oh, I also went on this great shadowing scheme at Cambridge as well. That was really nice. I definitely recommend that. We basically just like followed around a student at Cambridge for like 3-4 days, just like actually just living their life. Went to lectures, got to like hang about in their common rooms, chat with their tutors, have a nice look around the city. Again, lots of free, really nice food. And yeah, met some people there as well I'm still in contact with now. And there's just so much on offer. I've definitely missed stuff out that I did because I was just doing things all the time. it's actually just like an obscene quantity and just quality events, and I just feel actually mentally lucky that it was just like all just lined up for me to just do, and all of that like contributed to allow me to do like what I do now.
Great, Lucas, thank you, and have a brilliant time at Cambridge. Just so you don't think Lucas is unique, I'm now going to introduce you to Bailey James. Bailey was a pupil at Tonnereville Community School, and he's now about to go into his second year at Durham University, where he's reading law. Bailey, what can you tell us about the Seren experience?
So, my first notable experience on the Seren programme was partaking in law masterclasses with university academics. And this gave me the opportunity to explore my subject before I actually went off and committed to it, for 3 years. And I think that through these sessions, I got to find out whether studying law was something that I really wanted to do, whether it was something that, I was going to be interested in. And in addition to this, I feel like I developed valuable critical thinking skills, and I feel like I developed my ability to analyse key legal issues, both of which benefit me at university today. Seren also provided me with two very unique and very exciting opportunities that I feel any student would be very lucky to have. And so the first of those is the Jesus Seren Summer School at the University of Oxford. And this gave me the opportunity to see and to feel what being at a Russell Group university was actually like. Going to lectures, seminars, tutorials, talking to and eating with tutors and students, living within the walls of Jesus College itself, and entirely for free too. The second once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that Seren introduced me to was through the Seren Annual Conference, and this opportunity was with the Sutton Trust US program, and here I got to spend a week in America, again completely free, and I was basically guided through the American higher education admissions process. But without the Seren network, I think that, I wouldn't have been introduced to the Sutton Trust US program and even thought that it was possible to study in another country. And so, in some sense, Seren gave me the opportunity to expand my horizons. But the most valuable thing that I think that I took away from the Seren network was confidence. That is the confidence to believe that I, an ordinary Valleys boy from a working class background, could make something great of myself. And so I think if there's anything that you take away from my story, let it be that you, as sixth form students who have been identified by Seren as, Wales's brightest stars, you have the potential to do amazing things, and that Seren is only there to challenge you and to support you in every step of the way.
Thanks so much, Bailey, and have a great second year at Durham. So you can see that Seren is very much what you make of it. And as well as our own events, there are all sorts of webinars, university events, mentoring opportunities that you'll find on the Seren Twitter pages and Facebook page. But do keep an eye out for emails from me. I will try and flag up everything to you. I'm now going to introduce Hannah Rees. Hannah was at St John's in Aberdare, and she's just graduated this year with a degree in modern history from Oxford. Hannah, what are your recollections?
Yes, Seren helped me so much through the Oxbridge application process and offered me so many opportunities and a lot of support with it. So not only did they offer me some practical guidance with, the HAT test, submitting my personal statement on time and ensuring that it was like a true reflection of my character, my academic capabilities, and also with the interview process. But not only that, they did encourage me to actually apply and made me believe that I could be the Oxbridge candidate, considering that the statistics in Wales demonstrate that not many Welsh students actually apply to Oxbridge. So they offered me lots of guidance with my personal statement, as I mentioned. I practiced lots of HAT tests with Mr. Parry Jones. It's an intense and heavy commitment process, but you're not alone in it. And I know that seems daunting at this time, and it is a significant commitment to make, but it's so worth it. So please do maximise and utilise the resources that are given to you by the Seren Hub in order to make your application, not just to Oxbridge, but to Russell Group universities as well. And do your research. Oxford, is one university, but it's made up of 38 colleges. So do your research into what colleges you might like, whether you actually want to go to a collegiate university. Seren will be able to help you so much with that. And I know that the Seren network is actually affiliated with some people at Jesus College, Oxford as well. So hopefully you'll be able to get some sort of immersive experience before you even make the decision to apply. Oxford itself is an amazing city. It's so beautiful. It's so full of life and active and very student-based. And some of the myths that I came into Oxford with, going into the application process with, about it being, the workload being unmanageable, about it being full of posh people, and, who I'm not going to be able to relate to because I'm a little Valleys girl, or that the system in general is very overwhelming. I mean, to some extent, those are true, but they are massively exaggerated, and I had the best time of my life, and I do not regret any of it. The rigorous academic system that they have in place at Oxford, and the number of tutorials, seminars, and the intense number of essays that you have a week means that you will receive a rigorous, thorough and diverse education there. So I highly recommend applying, and yes, I wish you all the best luck for the future.
Thanks, Hannah, and very best of luck with your postgraduate studies in London. There are Seren alumni studying all over the world. 3 from our area are studying in America, 1 in Ohio, 1 in California, and 1 in New York. A bit closer to home is Megan Jones, though still quite far away. Megan is at St Andrews, where she's reading history. As you may know, St Andrews educated William and Kate, and the Times has just rated it the UK's #1 university. Megan, tell us a bit about life up in the north.
Hi, I'm Meg. I'm a third year reading art history and modern history at St Andrews. So far, I'm really enjoying my time here. It's such a gorgeous town. We've got 3 beaches, I'm sure you already know. I know that Stephen wants me to talk about what it's like travelling so far from home and kind of not having those home comforts that we're used to. But it really didn't take long to adjust for me, because it's such a small town. There's such a community feel, and you definitely feel like everybody's in it together. And I think the main thing to remember is everybody's in the same boat. Everybody still has to make the same friends, and there's so many different opportunities to do that, especially in halls of residences that are catered. I was in a catered hall first year, and at meal times there was 3 meals a day, so you could sit with different people, and it was just a time to bond. Everybody's rushing around in class and stuff. And societies as well. I think the main thing in Freshers Week is to just go out, get stuck in with every society. I've made friends I've had for years now, just at a random picnic that I wasn't even planning on going to, but if I hadn't gone I wouldn't have had these friends. So literally just get stuck in, go to everything you can in the first week. There's lots of opportunities to travel around Scotland as well. I mean, St Andrews is such a bubble, so for the first 2 years I was here, I never really left, because it's got everything you need. It's such a contained little town. But now I have a job in Edinburgh, and I go there every weekend, see some friends. Glasgow is around, go on trips to the Highlands, And yeah, so as soon as you come, you'll be adopted by a third year, which is really nice because you get to hang out with other freshers. So I live with my academic siblings right now, so it's a real bonding experience. We all go out to socials, see each other maybe once or twice a week. So it's although your family is always going to be at home, you've now got a St Andrews family, grandparent, my parents who've now graduated are coming back for Raisin, which is another thing. We've got all the traditions, so there's a lot of fun to be had. And I think you're so busy with all the societies and everything all the time that you haven't got enough chance really to miss home. I mean, there's so many systems of care in place, so you could call Nightline, there's you very much feel like you're protected and you're never really alone. So main advice is just remember that everybody needs to make friends just as much as you do. So I just get stuck in, be nice to everybody. Going away from home, I know it seems daunting, but I promise once you do it, you'll grow so much as a person and you can depend much more on yourself and, you know, your own life. You know, you're a lot more independent when you're away from home. Okay, thank you, and hope to see some of you soon.
Thanks, Meg, and have a great term. Well, I hope we've given you a flavour of some of what we do in Seren. The next crucial date, October the 29th, is the deadline for applying for the Seren Award, and I do urge you, have a go at it. So once again, congratulations on what you've achieved so far, but this is just the beginning. So good luck and North Star.